When we think about love, comfort, and healing, we often think about words, the words someone says to lift us up when we are down, or the promises spoken in moments of deep emotion. But beyond words, beyond even actions of kindness, there is something more ancient, more primal, more deeply human, and that is the language of physical touch. Touch is the first language we ever learn. Before we speak, before we understand words, before we even open our eyes fully as newborns, we recognize touch, a mother's embrace, a father's hand resting gently on our back, the warmth of skin-to-skin contact. These first moments of touch tell us something essential. You are safe, you are loved, you are not alone, and that message stays with us for life. Throughout human history, physical touch has been the thread that connects us. It is the handshake that seals an agreement, the hug that comforts a grieving heart, the kiss that expresses passion, the pat on the shoulder that says, "I'm proud of you." Touch is the bridge between souls, a silent language that speaks directly to the heart without needing words. But in our modern world, especially in a fast-moving culture like the United States, many people are touch-starved. They are surrounded by people, yet feel alone. They hear words of love, yet long for the comfort of physical closeness. This lack of touch creates invisible wounds, loneliness, anxiety, and emotional distance. And it is in this space that we must understand why physical touch is not a luxury, but a necessity. Why it heals the heart in ways nothing else can. Think about the power of a simple hug. Studies have shown that when two people embrace, their bodies release oxytocin, often called the love hormone. This chemical lowers stress, reduces anxiety, and creates a feeling of warmth and belonging. It can slow the heart rate, reduce blood pressure, and even strengthen the immune system, all from something as simple as holding someone close for a few seconds. That is not just comfort, it is healing. And yet, many people underestimate the importance of this small act. A couple may talk every day, they may exchange gifts, they may live under the same roof, but if they rarely touch, their bond begins to weaken. Physical touch is not only about passion or romance, it is about connection. A hand held while walking together, a kiss on the forehead before sleep, a squeeze of the shoulder in moments of stress. These small gestures tell us, "I am here with you." Physical touch also carries memory. When you hold someone's hand, when you stroke their hair, when you rest your head on their chest, your body remembers. Long after words are forgotten, the memory of touch remains. Think of an elderly person who remembers the feel of their spouse's embrace decades after their passing, or a child who remembers how their parent tucked them in at night. These touches stay imprinted in the heart forever. Touch also communicates what words often cannot. In moments of grief, when someone has lost a loved one, no words can erase the pain, but a hug can carry them through. In moments of fear, when anxiety makes the mind restless, the feel of a loved one's hand can ground us more than advice ever could. Physical touch bypasses logic and speaks directly to the soul. But physical touch is not just about comfort, it is also about passion, romance, and the spark that keeps love alive. In relationships, touch is one of the most powerful ways to express desire and closeness. It keeps intimacy alive when words alone are not enough. Couples who continue to touch, who hug, kiss, cuddle, and hold each other regularly often report stronger bonds and higher satisfaction in their relationships. Not because of the act alone, but because of what it symbolizes. You matter to me. I want to be close to you. I choose you. It is worth noting that in the United States, where individual space and independence are highly valued, physical touch can sometimes be neglected. People are cautious about invading personal boundaries. Workplaces are strict about physical contact, and in many communities, touch is reserved only for romantic partners. But human beings need touch in broader ways. Friends need hugs, children need to be held, families need closeness, and even strangers benefit from a kind touch in the right moment. Without it, society grows colder, more disconnected, more isolated. Think about infants in orphanages who receive food and shelter but little physical affection. Studies show that these children often fail to thrive, struggling emotionally and physically, despite their basic needs being met. That is the power of touch. It is as necessary as food and water for emotional survival. And the same truth applies to adults. We may be grown, we may appear independent, but inside we still crave the healing power of connection through touch. Physical touch is also transformative in conflict. When couples argue, words can become sharp, emotions can escalate, and distance can grow. But a single act of reaching out, a hand held, a gentle touch on the arm, can change the entire dynamic. It reminds both partners of their shared bond. It softens anger and invites reconciliation. Because touch says, even in our disagreement, I do not reject you. I am still here. There is also a spiritual element to touch. For many people, touch feels sacred. It is why rituals across cultures include the laying of hands, blessings, and embraces. To touch someone is to acknowledge their humanity, their existence, their worth. It says, I see you, I honor you, I stand with you. And when given with love, that message is deeply healing. But touch must always be genuine, not mechanical. A forced hug, a reluctant kiss, or a cold embrace can do more harm than good. For physical touch to heal, it must come from the heart, freely given, full of intention and care. It is not about going through the motions, it is about truly connecting. In long-term relationships, physical touch often changes. In the early days, it is filled with passion, with desire, with intensity. Over time, it becomes softer, more tender, more about comfort than excitement. And that is beautiful. Because as love matures, touch becomes not only about attraction, but about companionship. About saying, after all these years, I still want to be close to you. Think of elderly couples walking hand in hand. Their touch may no longer be fiery with passion, but it is steady with devotion. That touch carries decades of memories, shared struggles, and unshakable loyalty. It is proof that love is not only felt in the mind, but carried in the body, through every gentle gesture of affection. We can also see the healing power of touch in the moments of greatest vulnerability. When someone is sick in a hospital bed, the simple act of holding their hand can bring peace. When a child cries from fear, a parent's embrace quiets their heart faster than any explanation. When someone feels invisible in a busy world, a warm hug can remind them they still matter. These are not small comforts. They are lifelines. Even science confirms this truth. Researchers have found that people who experience regular physical touch are less likely to suffer from depression, loneliness, and chronic stress. Couples who maintain physical intimacy often live longer, healthier lives. Children who grow up in affectionate homes often develop stronger self-esteem and resilience. The body and the mind respond to touch as if it were medicine, because in many ways it is, but perhaps the most beautiful thing about touch is that it is universal. It crosses cultures, languages, and generations. It does not require wealth or eloquence or special talent. Anyone can give it, anyone can receive it. And it has the power to transform relationships, to mend hearts, to remind us of our shared humanity. So what does this mean for our daily lives? It means we should never underestimate the importance of reaching out, of holding hands, of hugging, of kissing, of offering small touches of comfort. It means that in our relationships, we must make touch a priority, not an afterthought, not something reserved only for special moments, but something woven into the rhythm of daily life. When you wake up in the morning, hold your partner for a few extra seconds. When you say goodbye before work, add a kiss to the routine. When you sit together at the end of a long day, don't just watch television side by side. Hold hands, rest your head on their shoulder, let your bodies connect as much as your minds. These small acts are not small at all. They are powerful signals of love and care. And when life gets hard, when stress builds, when arguments flare, when silence grows heavy between you, reach out. Sometimes the greatest bridge back to love is not built with words, but with touch. A single embrace can say, I'm sorry, I forgive you, I still love you. We live in a world where technology connects us more than ever through screens and devices, but no screen can replace the warmth of a human embrace. No text message can replace the feeling of a hand in yours. No virtual call can replace the healing power of a kiss on the forehead or a hug at the end of a long day. Technology can connect minds, but touch connects hearts. So let us remember this simple, profound truth. Physical touch is not optional, it is essential. It is the way love is made real, the way hearts are healed, the way relationships are kept alive. It is the first language we ever knew, and perhaps the most powerful one we will ever speak. Love can be spoken in many ways. Through words, through gifts, through acts of service, through time. But when love is spoken through touch, it goes deeper than language. It reaches the very core of who we are, reminding us that we are not alone, that we are cherished, and that we are connected in the most human way possible. And in a world that often feels cold and distant, it is this connection that heals the heart.